Josh, was that music a little bit loud for your headphones, dear?
Yeah, it comes through at like 8,000 decibels.
What? It took me a moment to realize what you were doing.
Yeah, I could see the sound. I could see the sound. It was
okay. Well, we are live in stereo sound. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Marvel Card Collectors Podcast. My name is Ian. Yes, I am cold. Yes, I'm wearing a troll's hat. No, I have no shame. Yes, I also have a blanket over my knees.
wow.
So there we go. I'm old. What can I tell you? Joining me this week from an area that's not quite as cold as this is Josh.
Yeah, what it is.
Down in Florida, and we have Wesley from somewhere a bit colder than here. I imagine, wager.
Yeah, AO. Yes, here in Columbus, Ohio. It's a cool 29 today, and yeah, it feels like 27 is what it says right now with the wind chill. So I guess not too bad. It wasn't like it was the other day, but yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, what was it the other day? You sent me a screenshot, and it was
down to like 1 Fahrenheit. So
oh god,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's like minus 15 Celsius or below that. Wow, hot water bottle needed, says Carl. Yes, Carl. Yeah. I do need a hot water bottle.
I almost couldn't wear flip-flops to go get my coffee this morning.
Oh, shut up. See, there's someone else. TJ in Florida. You see, he's probably there in his sarong, swanning around as you do with his coffee. Is that just me projecting what I'd be doing if I was in Florida right now?
Paradise.
Yes.
Paradise. Well, just when you think that 2024 hasn't done surprising you, midweek provides a massive kick up the nuts for the Marvel card collecting community with the announcement, which, to be fair, we knew was coming, was Marvel Masterpieces 2024. I'm not talking about an older set that's been reissued because we've had a couple of them this year. I am talking about 24 Upper Deck Marvel Masterpieces by, I'm going to muck up this guy's name, Nahuel Grego, I believe his name is. Oh, Keith! Keith has joined us! 2024 Marvel Masterpieces by Keith Speroni.
Yeah. Imagine.
That would be... Keith, what would that look like in reality?
A lot of crayons.
No.
I didn't realize he got to crayons yet.
We could put something together.
Yeah. I'm just
that
wonderful, nice one, Wesley. So hands up who enjoyed watching the reactions of people in the community when this got announced. I mean,
it was great.
Yeah, it was just hilarious watching them. Because the thing is, Upper Deck Billy. So Upper Deck Billy, shout out to Billy, gave the the starting gun, if you like, and he posted in MCCW, he posted in MMC, he posted on Instagram. So this was before the Upper Deck official feed posted, and people in the Facebook group are going, "Are you trolling? Is this official?" And it's like, it's Upper Deck Billy. It's like, of course it's official. So yeah, I can imagine Billy sitting there going, "Respect my authority." Don't you know who I am? Because I certainly would have been saying that. It's like, what?
Oh yeah.
So yes. So I thought we could talk about what little we know about it so far. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to share screen. And we can have a look at what we have seen so far, and then it is up on a couple of websites, so we can have a look and see what's going on. What's my computer doing? Bear with me, kids. Right, there we go. Let's try that. Right, we're going to see ourselves within ourselves, which is really weird, but nice. I'm going to go here. Right. So this is what was put out by Upper Deck. So this is the only official thing that's come out so far. Marvel masterpieces. I tell you, one of the interesting things is there's all sorts of tinfoil hats going that it doesn't say Marvel somewhere, like on the cards.
I was gonna address or talk about that or ask about it.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't think. I think people are reading a lot into the very little information that's out there.
I also see a Marvel there twice in that.
I see a massive
Yeah.
Marvel there.
Right.
The logo doesn't have the word Marvel in it because it's the M. That's what the M is.
Right.
Yeah, it just says masterpieces at the bottom. So yeah, I don't think there's any issue there really. It just doesn't say Marvel masterpieces. Now, I think that's just a design choice, possibly, because it is definitely a Marvel set. I wager the back of the card would definitely say Marvel on it because it's a Marvel licensed IP character. So, yeah, I don't know. I just think that's maybe a bit of a red herring. But you got 3 characters straight away. We've got everyone's favourite Canadian, and I'm not talking about Tony Perner. I'm talking about Wolverine. We got Kang. Wasn't Kang cancelled?
For the MCU.
In the MCU.
Oh, right, okay, fair enough. We've got Jean Grey with Phoenix vibes going on. Now, I've got to say, is anyone familiar with Nahuel Grego?
So I already had him followed on Instagram, which means that at some point he posted something that I liked.
Right.
I don't know what it was and which specific image, but so yes, very lightly.
The Flariums. He had a few of those.
That's right.
That was some of the first that I saw.
Yeah.
Backtracked, and so he's been busy lately.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really good art. It's really nice.
So that's the interesting thing. Excuse me. He was hiding in plain sight. He'd just been on Flare, and it's like, and I think because he maybe isn't a name that people would have associated with masterpieces, and I think that might have been his first original art on a Marvel set. I'm not sure. We can ask him. He did some Midnight Suns as well, says TJ. Well, there we go. Color me informed.
Cool.
So yeah, this is good. So he's clearly been putting out some work there. I mean, it looks really good. Do you want to look at the full Wolverine? Because he's posted it on his own feed,
Yes, he did.
so you can see the actual. Right, let me see if I can figure out how to do that again. Bear with me, caller. Talk amongst yourselves. Open image in new tab. Right, we're gonna do it this way. Oh my goodness, that's gorgeous. Right, here it comes. I will stop mucking it up. Share screen. And we'll have that one.
I can say when I looked back at what I could find, I didn't have any concerns.
Oh no! His Instagram feed is full of beautiful stuff, like really good stuff.
Right.
And I think he's South American. I'm not sure exactly where. So, but yeah, I mean, look at that Wolverine. That's
It's awesome.
It's everything you'd want in a Wolverine. It's the classic yellow and blue suit. He's coming at you. I love the perspective on it. I really love the perspective.
And the background.
Yeah, it's cool. I dig it. There's a lot of energy in the piece.
Of the 2 cards we've seen in a little bit of that Kang going on there, the biggest thing that strikes me is the color palette. It reminds me of and I don't like to compare, but it reminds me of Hildebrandt coloring.
That's interesting. Because when you said compare, I thought you were making a joke, as in dare to compare, because it reminds me of some of the 95 stuff. And you know what? It's no bad thing if it's a little bit, a little bit reminiscent of either, because both were banging sets. Yeah, I really dig it.
It's bright.
No disrespect to Dan DeSantis DDS, but I love the fact that it's slightly less perfect, if that makes sense, slightly less clean, just in terms of the kind of the kind of color blending and the grading of it. Yeah, I dig
Yeah,
it.
his
I really
were
do.
all so clean. DeSantis's that they all looked like a portrait, even the action.
Yeah. That's
It was-
and that's just that style. You
Right.
know, there's nothing wrong with that style. That's just a different way of seeing it. But I really like this. I really like this a lot.
Yeah,
I'm
great.
trying to see
I
what
dig it.
cards he did on the Midnight Suns, because
Yeah, you want to work on that in the background, and we'll have a look at those when you find them. Because I didn't have time, unfortunately, to pull that together before the episode. But
He did do the card games, the legendary. He's got a couple,
right, okay,
like
yeah,
the Cuckoos,
ageless. Michael is on. Yeah, I'm excited for it. And interestingly, on the Josh, you've got a question from TJ. Whereabouts are you in Florida?
In Southwest Florida, specifically Fort Myers, Naples area.
Okay.
Way
I
down
think
low.
he's actually wanting your street and apartment number so he can come over. I'm kidding.
The safe code is what?
I don't know.
No worries.
The safe word or the safe code?
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Don't go giving out your safe word on the internet, Josh. Trust me on this. But he did say he has beer. So we've got. Let's have a look at what little information we've got on both Steel City and Go GTS, and they've pretty much got the same information, but we'll kind of bounce between the two. So forgive me for sharing again. TJ's in Central Florida. That sounds like a massive area, but it is what it is. Right, so let's have a look. I'm going to have a look at Steel City. Can you see Steel City's website on my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. Okay, because I'm looking at that. I'm not looking at the StreamYard page, so I can't see what's streaming, you see. I have to just trust that it's there. So, usual configuration for a Masterpieces product. You've got 3 cards per pack, 12 cards per box. So that tells me it's still going to be the premium stock that we've come to know and love. 36 cards per hobby box. Listen, we don't know when it's going to be released, but it's going to have to be in the next 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
So yeah. So basically, let's scroll down here. Now, admittedly, I was told off record a while back, which I'm probably hoping I'm okay to share now, when I was told that this was coming. Oh, hello. Is that it maybe might not have been as full a set as we were expecting because he might not have finished all the pieces. Well, clearly that situation has changed looking at this, because we do still have promise of a 90 card base set, all serial numbered. So we've got the usual, as we come to expect from a Masterpieces product: Epic Purple, Legendary Orange. We've got the Emerald Green making its way back. We've got something new called a Blue Wave. Blue Wave. Okay. We also have a Timeless Red autograph. I'm not sure what was wrong with the name Silver Spectrum autograph, but that's what we've got. And Gold Spectrum autograph, 1 of 1. Now, there's no mention of a Red Spectrum 1 of 1 card.
No. That's sad.
That's interesting, isn't it? But there was a Gold Spectrum, so they're still 1 of 1s, but they're just autographed. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. And I'm going to say this now. I know that Upper Deck have been trying to widen the print run on this product, hence the format of Masterpieces 2022. I think this one's in danger of jumping the shark on that one. I think there's a limit to what you do with a Masterpieces Premiere set, and it stops being so special, in my opinion. What say you?
I have to agree, because that's only line 1 or 2 that we're looking at, and as we go down, you're going to see a lot more fun stuff going on there.
Yeah.
The big thing to notice, and I know I'm probably jumping ahead, is I don't see any Battle Spectra or Battle Spectrum or battles.
Interesting. So it could well be
that might be what didn't get done.
Pieces. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. All right. Yeah. Or they switched around to make sure they retained a base set at least.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got. Well, I'm going to jump down one. No, I'm not going to jump down one. Actually, I'm going to look at the next one. Look for framed masterpieces with framed masterpieces silver parallels and framed masterpieces gold parallel. So that implies to me that along with having an extra coloured parallel of the base set with Blue Wave and a different colour, what was the Silver Spectrum, and a new one of one autograph, there are yet more parallels of the base set by way of the framed masterpieces, and they've got a parallel number to 10, and then there's a one of one there. So there are two lots of one of ones.
Mm-hmm.
So if you scroll down, we do also have serial numbered variant cover cards, but there's no mention there of whether there are autograph versions of those, as there have been on previous years. So there are some differences potentially. Preliminary art are going to be there. Now, here's the thing. Canvas Gallery, so that's there. So that's your cards 91 to 100. Same gallery variants as we had before, green, red, and gold. I sincerely hope the centering's a lot better on those this time around.
Yes.
Honestly. Last time.
We can hope.
Yeah,
we can hope. Surely you wouldn't have that happen twice. I don't know.
No, they had to have caught, like, there was enough data out there where they had to have seen.
Yeah. I mean, you've said that. That's the first thing you'd have said to the printer. You've got one job.
They find a way.
They do. We're going to talk about Masterpieces 92 Platinum and some of the QA in that in a moment as well. Hunt for holofoil cards and parallels such as... Okay, here we go. And the holofoil have also suffered from parallelitis, as I call it. Glitter, crackle, diamonds, triangulation, moon lava, artist autograph, and galactic windows artist autograph. Now,
there's an A missing there.
Well, possibly, or they've made up a new word, galactic. Should we have a very quick jump over to the Go TTS checklist just to see if they've managed to get the spelling correctly? We have
Galactic.
Yes, they did.
Galactic. Yes, exactly. So someone at Steel City is probably going to get fired for that. Sorry, not sorry. But but there you go. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. Listen, maybe I'm old school. I'm of the opinion that less is more with masterpieces.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Other people feel this differently, but that's my take on it.
It's supposed to be a premium set with the limited serial numbers, and if you expand it too much, the parallels too much, you're going past a line where it seems less exclusive.
I think so, and that's the thing. I think there comes a fine line between justifying it as the adding value to the product kind of view that has been put forward by Protect to actually wanting to make more product and therefore more money.
Yeah.
And for me, this is a product where you don't do the latter aspect.
Right.
You
don't mess with it.
Just let it be special.
Yep.
Let it be special.
22 was okay. The green was okay. That was a nice new parallel without...
Well, when they got it right, because there were quite a lot printed silver, weren't there?
I wanted one of those, though, but, and then trying some new parallel, but even the preserved in amber was kind of a risk, doing stuff like that with masterpieces. Sometimes the card execution has to be important, and some of those look nice, but the font on them was a little too wild, and so there is that line of you can change things, but don't go too overboard.
Listen, I'm glad that that the ambers aren't back. I personally, I think they were misplaced in the product. They shouldn't have been there in the same way that the PMGs with 92 Platinum. Again, we're going to come on to that, but
I found them to be tacky.
I'm going to preface it by saying it's a shit show, but we'll come on to it. Like I said, Keith, I know you've had them in hand. Yeah, they're not well executed at all. They're not even PMGs in my view, but
it doesn't even have that look.
Let's see what else. There's no metallurgy.
There's no metallurgy listed. No, you're right. So one can only imagine that the metallurgy and possibly the amber have got a longer production process or a different vendor.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Not
Sublimation
this last
printing.
time, but wasn't the art different on the metallurgy in previous sets?
No,
it was the same art each time.
Okay. Yeah, same art. Yeah. It's just a different parallel of the base.
Gotcha.
So, but who knows? So you're going to get. I mean, I'll go through the pack hits and the box hits. Box hits, you're going to get a holofoil glitter or holofoil crackle, a gold signature series look. Wow. Okay. You previously got a gold signature series card every pack, pretty much.
Yeah.
Now it's a box hit. That's interesting. Okay. You get a prelim art card per pack. You get a canvas gallery per pack. And in every pack, you're saying at least you'll get a base set, level 1 or 2, or variant cover. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And then case hits, Mirage. So Mirage are in it. Okay. Mirage weren't mentioned above. Metallurgy is listed. Okay.
Huh. Thank God.
A case hit will also include cards plural, serial number to 25 or less, an artist autograph or redemption, singular. So I mean, look at these chase hits. You've got loads. Frame masterpieces. You've got redemptions, usual redemptions, base cut uncut sheet, gold signature series uncut sheet, variant cover uncut sheet, preliminary art. Okay, yeah, I'm with you. Printing plates. Mother. Okay. So almost the full package.
No sketches.
No sketches listed, but
which further tells you we need to get us the hell out of here.
Yeah, yeah, they wouldn't have had time for that at all. Listen, that's about as much information as we've got there. So I'm going to stop sharing because I'm sure the comments are going thick and fast here. So we've got Pete, TC Wallets, who you've just hung out with in Denver. We're going to talk about your Denver trip in a moment, Keith. I'm guessing they changed the front to Masterpiece instead of Marvel Masterpieces so they can transfer it to DC. That's interesting. So they're setting up the brand. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Am I the only one, TJ, not TJ from Upper Deck, a different TJ? Am I the only one that never cared for gold signatures?
Yeah, agreed.
I'm going to say it depends on the signature.
Agree.
Yeah. The Simone Bianchi ones, because his signature is a work of art in its full form, not his recent, more abridged version. In its full form is glorious. I mean, it's just lovely. And when he does it in a book and he's got all the room to do it, it's just phenomenal.
Which is why you get a real one.
Yeah.
A real signature. And there's so few, they have such limited production that they can do with this until parallelitis has come along. Yeah. But a lot of times we didn't get 16, 18, 20. We didn't get that many cracks at the apple. And Gold Sig took up a lot of cards. Exactly. There's a lot of packs I opened with a fake signature on it. And the trim was beautiful. Everything else was nice.
Yeah.
But just,
I mean, the execution was okay. And also, I think people don't value them as much because they're not numbered. It's pretty much the only main unnumbered thing outside of the base canvas and the base holofoil and the base battle. They're not numbered, so I think there's a perception issue there as well. Amanda is awake, which, given where she is in the world and the fact that she's just had the same journey as you, Keith, bonkers, quite frankly, Amanda. She must have started taking those drugs I recommended. So, Justin, any word of preliminary art variant? Yes, we just saw that on the checklist, so that's cool. But a lot of people saying they'd rather have a real signature.
The gold trim looked nice.
It's a set thing. It depended on the artist. Like I thought that no disrespect to Joe, and it's probably not even his fault, but his signature is so big and bulky.
It was so thick.
Yeah. It really took the card over when they stamped it on there. If they could have shrunk it down or something, or give him a thinner point, it would have been a little bit better.
Of foil. That was a
in
lot.
In the original Hildenbrandt ones, it wasn't as intrusive.
Oh my god, it's like a piece of sliver. It's
really
blended with the card perfectly. It never bothered me back in the day, and I understand the tribute and the nostalgia factor, which I appreciate a lot. That's important when they throw these little things in there for us. But man, some like you say, that signature was a bus in front of the artwork.
So the one thing that I noticed on these ones, have we decided how we're going to pronounce Nahuel? How are we doing this?
I've read it as phonetically how it is. I've gone Nahuel, but
his is off to the side.
It's
not across the middle.
Or not. Yes. Yeah, you're right. It is
Nahuel.
Yeah, possibly.
Nahuel.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway,
I wonder, like on the Midnight Suns checklist, there's a Nicholas Gregory, but I don't see. Unless maybe he did checklists, or unless he did sketches, and
yeah, I'm just gonna call him Grego.
There you go,
Grego.
I mean, we do it. We go Bianchi. We say,
it's got to be Nahuel. It's got to be Nahuel.
It probably is. It probably is. We can ask him.
Yeah,
Keith, you're the artist whisperer. Do you want to hit him up?
I will shoot him a DM.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, the gold TIG in 94 were really, really cool. I tell you what is interesting, though. It really does depend on the signature. Because if you've looked at the 95 Fleer Ultra Spider-Man gold signature parallels, some of those, you've got the same as the Just Go one, in that they're so big.
Yeah.
So it really does vary. I love Dave Palumbo. He's a really good bloke, but his signature for me didn't have the visual kind of oomph to really work in the way it was used. But that's just my opinion. Other people might think it's the best thing since sliced bread. Here's a question for you: what's the best thing before sliced bread?
Ooh.
I don't have the answer to that, by the way, but the expression is always "what's the best thing since sliced bread."
That's
so
right.
It begs the question: what was the best thing before sliced bread?
I can think of something, but
I guarantee that's going to keep you awake at night. So anyway. This is interesting. TJ, it is my goal to have all MM signed by all the MM artists for my character. TJ, who's your character? Answers on a postcard or a comment on YouTube, please. Should we guess before we put it through? Should we guess? What's it going to be? I'm going to say Colossus. Just for shits and gigs. He's probably answered now, isn't he?
Cap.
Yeah.
Maybe go mainstream.
Yeah, possibly.
Power 5 conference.
Right. Okay, we're being schooled here by Giancarlo. The H is silent. Nahuel
Grego.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Thank you.
Right.
Perfect.
Good. Thank you,
Appreciate
Giancarlo. Still Motion Art says good morning. I
do have one other thing that I'm really happy about. There's no tiering.
That we've been told about.
Yeah. But it doesn't, because if there is tiering, are they not serialed to a lower number? They would love to tell us if there was a serial.
Yeah, I'm trying to think whether or not it even said that on the MM2022 solicitation.
It's a good call out.
Yeah, not sure.
If I could find it.
But let's find out. Right, who had Thanos for TJ's character? No. Okay, good. That went well. Right, let's move on. So I don't know. I mean, like I said, we're recording on the 15th of December. My understanding is they lose the license and they can't sell anything new after the 31st of December. So when's it going to drop?
I think I did hear a date of like the 27th or 22nd or something.
It's going to be tight.
And I thought I might have heard that whenever on the thing you did the other night, Keith. Did somebody have a date that maybe I'm just off in space, but of when it was going to be released?
Keith Boyle might have had a because he's a retailer, isn't he?
I'll tell you, he probably knows. But he definitely is very good about the rules, and he definitely didn't leak anything to me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Never shit where you eat, I think is the guidance that he's
Mhm.
going by there. Okay. Good. I don't know what else we can say about it at this point, apart from the fact that it's coming. Yeah. I mean,
It'll be quick.
It'll
It has to be fast.
That's what I usually say. But no, I really hope Black Cat's not in the set from a purely selfish point of view. I hope Thanos is for you, TJ. I hope War Machine is for you, Josh.
Yes.
Wesley, I think we both could use a break because let's face it, we've been catted beyond all recognition this year. And Keith, you've even had a set that featured an entire subset with your character in.
Mm-hmm. Sure
which
did.
didn't seem to overwhelm you very much.
No.
No. Heroes and Hop says David Adams say the 31st. David Adams will often put a placeholder in and just put something in there. So, but if that's the only date that's out there, then that's the only date that's out there. But let me just triple check the two sites that I'm on.
So as far as
either of them say dates.
Is that Jason sneaking in with the?
Oh yeah,
that's right.
Oh yeah. So just so that people know, Jason is not with us this week because Jason is. Oh yeah, Heroes and Hops is Jason.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I just know because I always try to tag people.
Yeah. This is Jason, by the way. There we go. So I was expecting to see Heroes and Hops is his old kind of profile thing that he used to do. So, wow. Okay. Yeah, Jason is looking after a 5-month-old child all weekend on his own, and he's not a parent. So,
the pictures are classic.
We pray for him.
I think the kid's got more hair than he has. Imaginarium comments. I co-founded several Comic Cons and tried my best to bring in artists that worked on cards. Brought in Joe Jusko, Dave DeVries, Ezra Tucker. Ezra Tucker, there's a name I don't know. And Glenn Fabry. It was great meeting them all. So maybe Ezra Tucker's more on the DC or other types of IP front. Because I'd have heard of that name if it was Marvel. But anyway, Glenn Fabry, of course, did all those fabulous Preacher covers back in the day. He has actually been on a Marvel set as well. I think he was on one of the Flea Ultra X-Men's in the 90s. He's definitely on one of them. I'm not making that up. Josh, what have you got on the telly behind you?
See, that was actually Marvel Rivals. Have any of you guys tried that yet?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, so it just because it was idle, it just flipped to news or whatever. It's just
okay.
not what
all right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Imaginarium is schooling us here. I'm always open to be. Listen, every day's the first day at school when you work on Marvel cards. Anyone who claims to know everything is quite frankly talking out their bum. Because there's so much stuff that you've got to remember, and there's so much stuff to know. And there's also a lot of stuff that's maybe only half known or quite vague and minutiae. But Ezra Tucker, we're being told, worked on X-Men Flea Ultra. So there we go. So I'm gonna check that out. So I've probably seen it. I just didn't know who the artist was. Anyway, what do you know? Right.
It looks like he also did a.
Oh, sorry. Carry on.
It also looked like he did the. If I'm looking at this right, he did the poster for the Neverending Story.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Let me see if I can switch this over so you can.
The Neverending Story.
Oh, that dragon used to haunt my nightmares.
Hang on a minute. I'm trying to get Wesley. I'm trying to make Wesley big, and I don't mean that in any kind of saucy way. Let me just pull that over. There we go. There we go.
Wesley,
oh, that one. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Just. It looks like he also did a lot of. I think so. I mean,
he looks like a dude. He looks like the actor James Pickens Jr.
Yeah, it looks like he did a lot of
Oh, I like that stuff. I like his palette.
Yeah, a lot of animals and
yeah.
Looks like an amazing artist. But
we should get him on. I'd love to talk to some of those old school 90s like base set artists who haven't kind of worked on any of the more modern sets. There's some great names. You have to move over a bit for us to see that.
Oh, oops.
Ezra
That's
Tucker.
fine.
Oh, wow.
That's fine. You're good right there.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Nice. What was that? A winged Pegasus?
Yeah, and it's
wow.
Yeah, and it's full.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta get better at this zooming and stuff, but yeah.
Right. You're being you're being scorned from the comments here, Josh. How did that dragon haunt you? It was like a big dog.
I mean, it had the red glowing eyes in the scales, like the fish scales, and it was just a man. You know, I know his intentions were good, but a lot of magic and weirdness.
Oh, that's his. That's his. Wow. Okay.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yes, Ezra done.
Great.
94 Flare Ultra. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Imaginarium, if he's got his phone number, send him out. Awesome. Oh no, that's cool. I love this. Oh, hang on a minute. Imaginarium is doubling down on the call. I'm lucky enough to own the original art to the Archangel and Bishop he did for X-Men Flare Ultra 1994. Whoa. Okay. Wow. Cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. That's the other good thing about doing this live. When else would we be doing a Masterpieces 2024 episode and segue into Flare Ultra X-Men 1994?
Right.
It just wouldn't normally happen.
A 30-year gap.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. I'm going to go back there. Keith, by way of introducing us to Marvel Masterpieces 92 Platinum, and probably the only one of us who's actually had hands-on action with it.
What did I see? A lot of it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, tell us first of all, back up a bit and tell us where you've been for the last 5-6 days.
So I was in Denver with Billy, Watch Me Open, Amanda, Graded Gamer, Keith Boyle, I Want More Comics, and TC Wallace, Peter, and Izzy, the Infinite Collector. So they did something called Friday the Ripteenth. Yeah.
That's it.
Where Billy channeled all of his life and energy into
a lot.
It was an enthusiastic performance, I believe.
Yes. Imagine trying to keep him above water. So they ripped through an entire case. There were some spin wheels for some PSA graded 96 stuff. There was a spin wheel for PMGs. There was a spin wheel for sketch cards. But mostly the star of the show was the 92 Masterpieces case. Billy will tell you that he was the star of the show, but the star was the art. And it was a great time. The setup, I mean, I know you did a show with Amanda later that night. The setup of Keith's establishment is absolutely like a dream. You want this place in every town that you live in. Like I'm so envious of some of the less than, what do I want to say? Just the shit comic shops that I have. Sorry, I'm just going to put it out there.
No,
very well organized. Just great. And he's got everything. He's got video games. He's got the pops, obviously. He's got records. He's got old CDs. He's got, and obviously the comics, the trade paperbacks going back to forever. Anime stuff. You name it. It's really, as Keith describes it, an homage to pop culture more so than just a comic book store. And it was cool. It was really cool to be a part of it and to watch them go crazy. Wes cleaned up.
Yes.
Oh boy.
I bought a spot for Taylor for Scarlet Witch, and I bought one
box one.
In box one, you got the blue PMG to 50 for Scarlet Witch, and it's is a beautiful card where she's like laying back, and I'm not gonna make
yeah.
It's,
go on, Wesley, please.
Yeah, you were happy.
Please do the pose.
I'm sure people in the comments would pay good money to see that.
And then I got a numbered. Actually, I don't know everything I got because it was going on so long. I fell asleep for like the last fourth, but it'll be a nice little Christmas present for her and me. That's for sure.
Very nice.
Yeah, there's some. Nice. As Peter just said, there's some amazing pictures that I don't want to put out there, but I'll send them to you separately of Billy.
No, they're already out there. They're already out there. In fact, Amanda on our podcast,
he made a little video.
Yeah, Amanda on our podcast, there was she did a walk around and she went into one of the rooms, and you just saw these legs sticking out from behind a pile of boxes, and it was Billy completely crashed out on the floor.
Listen, I gotta tell you.
Later on, I mean, the thing is, I've only seen a small little video clip it. Is that the right word? A clip. Yeah, and the amount of energy coming out, I'm not surprised he crashed. It's like Ant-Man when he goes to Giant. He gets really sleepy afterwards because he's used so much energy.
I mean, before the show, this is him like hyping himself up, almost like he's about to go.
Wow, that's like a UFC fighter getting
right, like he's about to go, 10 rounds.
Yeah, he's yeah.
And there was no talking to him for a half hour. I could not speak to him.
Oh, you're kidding me! He wasn't going all the method, was he? Getting into character. Yeah, and that was him afterwards.
That was the aftermath.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's so funny. That's so funny. So anyway, there was a whole case of Masterpieces 92 Platinum opened.
Right.
Keith, tell us impressions.
It's fun. It was a nice way, as much of a money grab as we all know it was a fun way to revisit a set that, kind of gets pushed aside as its age goes on. They did a lot well, right? And then they did a lot kind of funky. I do love just the base on its own. The pink laser looks a lot better. I didn't think I was going to like it in person, but I like that a lot in person. The rainbows look great. There are some issues with the PMGs, as we've seen.
Well, we're going to show some issues that people have posted on group in a minute. But
I mean, I have my theory on what happened, and I think I'm pretty damn right about it. What else? Having the covers, right? Because we didn't have them the first time around. That was cool to see.
Interesting issues as well.
Well, the tidbit that I was told by Boyle, I didn't realize if you flip the original cards over.
There's an issue. Yeah.
So how cool is that they just referenced that without just going out on their own and just picking anything to go with it? So it was a good call out on them.
So on the back of the original set, there's a picture of a comic cover that character was in. It's not necessarily their first appearance. It might just be what they were doing at the time in 1992 in Marvel. Yeah. So they're variant covers that they've done. Or I'm still going to call them what ifs. I'm sorry. The variant cover name change thing doesn't work.
Why not?
The what ifs.
That was a struggle in the stream too.
They use those covers that were on the back of the card.
Wow.
So for Black Cat, it's a Spectacular Spider-Man issue, like in the 90s, I think, because she was in that whole run. So it's just nicer than just having the same Amazing Spider-Man 194 cut out.
I do have
Amazing
one
Fantasy,
of I see what you're talking about, the beasts.
Oh, you have got one in hand. Right, let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at this. Let's get it big and center.
Let me see if I can.
No, it's right. You're there. Right.
So there's the what if side.
Okay.
And then
that's very much Spider-Man in the 300s, isn't it? What's that? 360 something, that issue? Don't know.
It is.
Anyway, nice.
I think it might have been the Todd McFarlane Spider-Man number 15. Gosh, I'm old, I can't see. Or 39 or something.
It's 300. It'll be 300 and something.
Unless
it's the it's the Spider-Man run, not the right. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I do think that's an amazing addition to.
Yeah, that is nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice.
Yeah, Todd had left by the 30s on that run, but yeah, okay, wow, okay, cool. So it's the parallels. Good Lord, there's a lot of them. I mean, didn't he do a breakdown on the group when the checklist came out? I think it was something like it was 30, maybe. It was somewhere around there. It was high 20s at least. There's a lot because there's parallels of the what ifs as well, the variant covers.
Right, and there's the clears and the plexis
and the leathers and the canvases.
The leathers and the canvases. Yeah, that's
lenticulars.
That's where
allergies.
Just about everything but the leather and the canvas, I'm happy with. I'm okay with.
Can I show you one more?
I absolutely. Hang on.
Pull one of the lavas, that lava parallel.
I pulled
we pulled two of these. I don't think he pulled a lava.
Seismic gold. Now the seismic gold in this is number 292.
Oh, nice. Okay, because it was number wasn't it 10 out of platinum? I think.
Right.
Yeah. So where did you get these, Wes? Did you go out and buy some?
So that was the other thing. I went down to my my local card shop, and the owner he actually opened a box before I got there and got some really cool Thanos stuff, and it seemed to like pull him into the Marvel stuff because he wasn't normally into it. I talked to him about it all the time, but I guess he must have
better late than never, I guess.
Yeah, he must have opened a little bit in his maybe in his day when he was a little younger, but yeah. There's he was pretty excited about it.
Well, I know Topps Fanatics have got a much different and much more interwoven distribution base with brick and mortar stores.
Those look great too.
Oh, the lenticular. Hello.
Yep. Those look really good.
I think those
this is going to hurt this set, isn't it? It's really going to hurt. Didn't I hear that in Namor, the lenticular, there's a fish that moves?
That's we didn't pull one, but I've heard that too. A couple people shouted that out on the stream.
Like,
well,
what?
I did get
the metallurgists is probably, they look so nice. There's this gloss to them on the front. They look so
really
cool. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm waiting to see what Wesley pulls out to show us next.
I did get a Namor plexi.
Those look great. Wait, is that a clear or a plexi?
It's a plexi.
Okay.
But yeah, it's kind of a
very sharp,
kind of a neat.
All right. Okay.
Neat. What else?
I mean, I don't know. It's all a bit too expensive at the moment on eBay. So I'm not...
Yeah, and then I do think the actual clears are pretty cool too. Billy kept doing this thing like, see my fingers, see my fingers.
Yeah.
Turn it to the side. Turn it to the side. Right. So that's the difference. The clears are thin.
And I believe the plexi has round corners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, I'm with you.
Right.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I see.
Those
interesting. All right.
Nice.
Okay.
If I were to set it, it'd probably be clears or plexis I'd be going after. Personally.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. The variant covers, just because they're a new way of looking at it.
Yeah.
I like the idea of putting that cover that was on the back of the card on the front. Because I don't think you'd be losing anything there. In fact, it'd be enhancing. I think the other aspect for me is the lenticulars. That tempts me.
They're
massively
cool.
Tempts me. Yeah.
I usually don't go goo for those kinds of things. I don't really care for the mirages too much when they come out, but I thought the 3D aspect was done pretty damn good on these.
Yeah,
I think the mirages fail because you're trying to get 3 or 4 good works into one card, and none of them get represented
very sharp
to their full potential. So.
And the hollow foils, like what Ryan just said, I do think the hollow foils look really cool too. I haven't seen one in person, but did you see one in person, Keith?
Yeah. Wait.
The hollow.
Oh yeah, we saw 2 or 3 of them. They are really, the way that they go on the backgrounds. Actually, it looks really freaking good. I did like those a lot too. Yeah. I hope they don't end up being like a beginnings thing, and I hope they're a little bit more available.
Okay, the hollow foils are very nice, says Ryan in the chat. Okay, interesting. Anyone in the chat, have you broke any? Feel free to comment and throw in and tell us what your favorite things, what you don't like. TJ's kicking us off. The Thanos Blue Tracks cover variant is outstanding. Okay, so you've got Blue Tracks, but also of the cover variant.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And the Blue Tracks isn't numbered in this set either, like it is in.
All right. Okay. That's interesting. All right. I'm jonesing to get my hand on a box, but I'll have to wait for the time being.
What are they going for?
Could be a January opening. I don't know. I think the best part of 300. I think.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head.
Okay, maybe I'll show you one last one.
Oh, Wesley's got something else up his sleeve.
Just don't show me a leather or a wood.
Yeah, those are.
But what about a card? Right.
Oh, wow.
What's
Blue
that?
Tracks,
that's beautiful.
variant cover. Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Ryan has hit the nail on the head with the element of the set that I really want to collect, because I collected the comics of these, the Cornerbox creations. So Joe, those I want to collect because I did have the comics. with them on. Now, Joe did post on group about these because someone asked him where the art.
Really
someone
nice.
asked where the art came from. I tagged Joe, and Joe basically said that he started that as a vanity project, and he started doing them about 10 years ago. And then Marvel put out a load of variant covers using them about 6 years ago now, I think. And I was collecting those. I think I had I think they put out about 20, plus there was an extra that was an exclusive at Boston Fan Expo that he was there and signing. So I've kept the signed one of those, which was a spectacular Spider-Man one. And the others I've since parted with. But yeah, they are really, really nice. But Joe didn't know the art was in the set, had been used. So I find that interesting. It may well have come from Marvel, that, because it would have been in their image library if it had been the variant covers. On the variant covers, it would have been in there. Yeah. Pete said the embossing added something to the base. Yeah,
leaving at the end, so we really got our hands on just about every single card. So
good. Okay, and there'll be your fingerprints all over them and your DNA as they go to their new owners.
I was forced to wash my hands.
Did I see where? And I know this. Some people aren't excited about this, but that where Amanda went through and marked which ones had been.
Right. So to go over the format of the show, aside from the 3 wheels and the break that was going on, everything that got complete, every insert that someone won went over to Amanda at a separate table. And then she took the time live on her feed to go through them all and kind of grade them. She put them in sleeves. If she felt that it was something that you should get graded, that you should really take a look at on the sleeve, not the card, there was a Sharpie note from Amanda that said, GG's or, previewed by Amanda, whatever it may be. Really just a cool extra service that she did. I really, the whole format of the show really worked out really well. And they really knocked it out of the park, I think, with their exexecution. Aside from some behind the scene fun stuff, which I've already posted on Instagram.
Saw one of those.
Yeah,
that's fun. It's cool. I'm wanting to show. What am I wanting to show? We've got here. Let's talk about the PMGs. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. So I'm going to just share my screen with this post. This made me laugh.
Bad lasso
this morning. Right. And some of you might have seen this, especially if you're in one of the Facebook groups. Hopefully you'll find this amusing. So, Vocek posted 2 hours ago as we typed, "Blue PMG, go home, Upper Deck, you're drunk." Okay, let's have a look at this.
I tell you what, that's not bad.
Yeah, I know, but what's going on? And I know I've got other posts saved that we're going to look at in a minute, but you've clearly got the issue with the print not being solid all throughout, and I know that's on a number of PMGs. This one is not bad, as you say. We'll show some of the others in a moment. That's the only reference to PMG on the back there.
Oh,
yep.
Doesn't say precious metal gem on the front at all. Yeah,
Doesn't have a number on it?
Yeah, it is numbered. They're numbered in different ways.
Most unpleasant Marvel rip.
Yeah. Daniel Rubin opened. Now, so not everyone enjoyed it. Let's be honest with you. And not everyone's going to enjoy every set. Such is life. Vive la différence. But Daniel Rubin described it as the most unpleasant Marvel rip in a long time. So he's clearly not had a good time with it. I did save another one where someone had PMG images that were just like all over the place, but I can't find it. It's not in my. So maybe they took the post down. But Keith, I mean, you can talk to it a little bit with the colours around the edges.
Clearly, what happened with this set is this is something that they had intended to do. It's for some time, right? It ended up on the shelf. And then as the license expired, someone was like, "Holy crap, go get that crap and let's put it out." And then someone else said,
I had my first conversation saying they were working on it in early 2022.
Right. And then someone also was like, "Wait, but there's no PMGs. You get that done real quick." And it looks like someone very quickly did the lasso tool, right, to pull the art off. saved them in a folder, and sent them off without inspecting what got lassoed. Like if you've ever used some of the newer phones and some of the new stuff, you can really do some cool stuff and move people around and blah blah blah. And it looks like whatever they used to do that, the person just it covered the whole area. All right, I'm done, and missed sections along the borders. Because if you've done it wrong or you've missed something by a little bit, the lasso tool will just kind of kick over and not catch the image. That's clearly what happened here, and twofold. In the rush, it would seem that someone didn't check the work also, because it is very, very, very apparent on some of these cards. And to call them PMGs, which are supposed to be, your flagship card in most of these boxes, to not have the font on the front of them also, another somebody messed up and somebody didn't see it thing. It's upsetting, right? Very upsetting.
It is upsetting, and it devalues the PMG.
And especially if you're there to do just value, right? There are so many people that are buying these kinds of things and then trying to flip them and turn them for profit and then just junking the rest of it. If you're that guy, boy, are you screwed. But if you just want your stuff, you'll be fine, right? It's unfortunate. But it's rough.
Ash Gonzalez in the house has just volunteered himself to be the audio intro for this episode. Because we always seem to be doing that these days. If we've got an artist who pops up in the chat, their audio intro is the audio version of this episode that we put out.
There it is.
I am a number of weeks behind yet again. I apologize on doing that. So I'm going to try and catch those audio versions up over Christmas. So for anyone wondering where their weekly fix is on the audio, I'm sorry. I'm I'm human.
It does look like, because I did see one of the cards that was pulled. I think it was a Dr. Doom, but I got a Mole Man right here where it looks like you're right.
Oh, okay, right. Hang on a minute. Let's do this. 1 second.
I mean, Wes, even yours, I believe the bottom right of your border is white.
Is it really? Yeah, I didn't even.
Yeah, and that's the thing we're seeing. Is that the color stops. You have massive sections of gap where the color doesn't go through the border, and
that's not a true PMG.
Oh yeah,
it's no.
Oh my!
Look at that. Right.
Apocalypse.
And how nice it would be if it was done right.
Yeah,
that's brutal.
I don't know. I mean, I've used this expression before.
Yeah, blob.
The Marvel Metal Universe X-Men PMGs. I said at the time that they were PMGs in name only. I would say these aren't even PMGs in name only because it doesn't say it on the front of the card.
Right.
There's no, and you have to know what the letters P and M and G would stand for. I'll pull up that Moon Knight one. Scroll up.
I also, after this, I want you to find anything with the blue tracks of anything of the Thing.
Oh, the Thing,
yeah.
Yes.
Hilarious.
Those white parts are they are a mistake. They are a mistake, Ash. I think that's what you meant to say there. Ouch, says TJ. Blake, who was here last week, is here. Good morning, Blake. Welcome to Marvel Card Church, as we have now decided to call this episode. In fact, Pete, TC Wallets, is responsible for that one.
What is this?
Look at his
head and his lip.
Can you click on that, please, Wesley, so it gets a bit bigger? Click on it and then scroll down. Just move down with your mouse.
Oh gosh, yeah, I won't. Hold on.
I won't do it. Okay. Anyway, you get right. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Well, let's go. Oh my goodness. He's got a blue lips. On some of them, his lower lip his lower jaw is just gone.
Yeah, that's what this one is. Can you scroll down slightly?
Yeah, I can
drag that up slightly.
Just drag the window up.
Yeah,
there we go.
Just drag the window up.
Yeah,
come on, Wesley, you can do it.
There you go. Perfect. That's perfect.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael. I mean, listen. If you want to leave that thing alone, but yeah, no, that's comment of the week. Comment of the week from PTC Wise. Thing with lipstick. Thing with lipstick. Oh my goodness me.
That poor thing.
Yeah.
You poor thing.
Yeah. The one that I thought I saw was the Dr. Doom that
And like Keith was saying, how do you after you just a quick scan through? I mean, I've made a couple cards myself, and granted, I know it's not 100 card set or however, but geez, if you just look through it, you immediately oops.
There wasn't one. There was a time schedule. They needed to get these things out. They had to get it to the foil printer, to the this printer, to the that printer, and this is what we got.
Look at that Colossus.
You know, and there was no time to do a QC rip, right? I'm sure.
Off a set that's commemorating the original Marvel Masterpiece.
What really made me laugh, there was a guy who posted anonymously, TJ, what happens when the thing dates Smurfette?
Oh God.
I love it. The bastard love child of Ben Grimm and Smurfette. Someone posted in the group on like day one, I think, and they pulled, I think it was out of 50. Was it blue out of 50? I think it is.
Whoa.
Oh my goodness me! Wow. What's going on there, Wesley? Stop that right now. So,
Interstellar.
Someone posted an anonymous valuation post, I should add, which is how it rolls now in MCCW, of a blue, I think it might have been Scarlet Witch PMG, and said, valuations on this, please. I'm thinking about $3,000. What do you guys think? And I did reply to that. And I think he subsequently did take it down because everyone was piling in. But my response to that was, if anyone pays $3,000 for that card, I will leave the hobby. I legit quit because that's it. It's done. It's over. It's game over. Because $3,000, I mean, you're not going to get 300 for some of these, even the popular characters.
Yeah.
They're you know. Anyway, that aside. One insert does not a set make, but still, PMG. I'm gonna say it now. And Keith's thinking about the truth of that. He's trying to think of an example that disproves that blanket statement. But I will say now
more that they messed up. There's a couple.
Yeah, no. I'm going to say now, PMG should have been nowhere near the Masterpieces brand.
Well, that's the first thing. Yeah.
Yeah, regardless of what they look like. It's so I would actually say that at some point there's been a planning or a judgment error or a decision that just hasn't been thought through properly.
Well, if the point of this set was to take the platinum and give it, take the masterpieces and give it the platinum treatment.
Platinum doesn't have PMGs.
Correct. So what were we doing there?
Yeah. Right.
I will say, go home, you're drunk, UD is a great thing to say about it because
it is. And Upper Deck, listen, we love you, Upper Deck. We love you very much. You've done some absolutely, I messaged this to them this week when I saw the announcement that I'm about to share on screen. I messaged them and I said, look, I think you've done some incredible, groundbreaking, innovative work in your tenure. But Upper Deck, I would like to think Upper Deck are our friends, and when friends are out of line or fuck up in some way, you'd like to think that someone will actually, you need to hear it from a friend. Mm-hmm. So friend to friend, Upper Deck, on the PMG front with Masterpieces 92 Platinum, you fucked up.
Yeah.
On a premium parallel.
No disrespect intended. But it's it's just a fact. It didn't work. It shouldn't have been in there in the first place, and they didn't work. So, So there. That said, there are elements of the set that look like they've worked fantastically well, and I'm sure that they're probably busily working away on a platinum brand for DC, and I'm sure they're very, very busily working away on platinum for a number of their other IPs as well, and. You know what? Go for it, because there's a market there for the platinum sets and the platinum format. Some of them are absolutely, absolutely astonishing.
Yeah, I mean,
in their execution.
I like the platinum brand. I mean, what was its previous name that I found?
Vibranium was their first attempt at
a chrome
style product,
which I found to be crap. But this, I think, is a much better. This last Platinum was a much better realization of the thought.
Yes.
Obviously, you know, there's some miscues today with this current product, but if they want to continue down that path and make this their chrome product of whatever you want to call it, I think it's a great attempt at it, and I think that they've definitely fixed a lot that went wrong with vibranium.
Oh yeah, yeah, and there's a good base to work from. I would say that Masterpieces 92 Platinum is pretty much every bit of technology that Upper Deck can do thrown into one set.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at all our printing processes, all the substrates, all
yeah.
And they just shook it all up and just
as a calling card, absolutely great. But not all of them worked. And yeah, like I said, PMGs. Give it
I mean, I know they had to be crushed for time, and so you know, respect. But
that's the thing. This set's been in the works
for a
years.
While. Right.
Because if you look at the rest of the inserts, there's really not much wrong.
Yeah.
There's the Apocalypse Warlock issue on the backs.
Yeah, the back. Yeah, there's a full print run error, isn't there?
And Bishop and Galactus are missing a leg on some cards, I think. And besides that, centering is very good. The trimming isn't awesome on all the cards. Okay. It's just not. The base looks good. There was a couple of the inserts. The trim is a little rough. But yeah, overall, I think this set was 80 to 90% done, and they were like, "But wait, PMGs."
Yeah, why? If you're gonna do it, you have to do that right. That's just too important.
Guy was on holiday that week.
And then there were two, attempts. Right? They tried to do the wood and the leather. That was just, hey, let's see if we can pull this off. Sure.
I just want to snigger whenever you say the words wood and leather. I don't know why.
Yeah, the S&M inserts.
Yeah.
I keep looking over at Ash's comment that it's a Cookie Monster. It's a Cookie Monster costume.
What for the thing?
Yeah. Card equals leather and wood. Yeah. Well, yeah.
I've got a couple commissions that I've done or gotten from guys who do like legal burning, who do some of the characters burnt into the wood.
Oh, okay,
those are really
cool. The Anime 2 wood blocks.
Yeah. And so it's got depth to it, and it's got they actually do the shading with the burning. If you watch it, a little video of one done, they're pulling the lines that they create in the original, and they're using that as the shading. Yeah. And it creates this really cool 3D effect. I have like 4 or 5. I love them.
Nice. Those Anime 2, those Anime 2 wood blocks, by the way,
those are cool.
Possibly one of the nicest, innovative executions in a Marvel card set.
Yeah, if they did that
in the last decade, I'd say that's up there. That's in the top 10 of the most innovative and well executed things. So we giveth and we taketh away. So so yes, I want to. There's a last post that quickly talked about the characters, because obviously since 1992 the world has changed. I think it's fairly safe to say. So Mandarin is not in the set, replaced by Scarlet Witch, because Scarlet Witch was on the Lost Ladies. Okay. Megan, card number 55, replaced by Feral from the Lost Ladies. Punisher, who we know has been out of action for a little while, replaced by Deathbird. And this is the one that I must admit, I'm a little bit sad about this. The checklist.
Yes.
Card 100, the checklist, never made it into platinum format, and I'd give my right nut for a metallurgy version of the checklist, quite frankly. But that was replaced by Jubilee. I mean, I get it. Not everyone's going to do 20 parallels of a checklist, apart from maybe me, just for shits and gigs, because it's never been done. But again, what it tells me, Upper Deck, and we've said this to them before, and with the structure of new sets, I understand it might not be completely feasible, but you can do more than one checklist card. But Upper Deck seem to be very averse to the idea of doing checklists. And I've always maintained that that's clearly a conscious decision on their part, not an oversight. I've always maintained that's a mistake. I think there's some fundamentals with Marvel cards that they've chosen, like the 9-up rule, for example. But checklists is just have a checklist, please.
The 96 checklist card is gorgeous.
I know. It's really nice because it's got that kind of marbly background.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's in the thing, but it's all over it. So imagine you could do some really good effects with that. You could do some really cool shit in the foil. So,
talking about
Typhoid. Sorry, just very quickly, Wesley. Typhoid Mary was not replaced. She's just not in the set. So there we go. Right, Wesley. Sorry, carry on.
I was just gonna say, I think one of the things Billy brought up the other night when he was going through, and I don't have one here, but there's a couple of characters that are actually like smoking in the like Gambit has a cigarette in his mouth or something, right?
Good call out. Something you won't see.
Yeah.
Ever again.
Oh gosh.
Gambit, Fury, Blaze, Red Skull. Yeah, there was something that Billy was all over on the stream.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting.
Something, you won't see.
Smoking subsets.
Well, Blaze wasn't he? Oh no, that's Ghost Rider. I was going to say, no wonder he's smoking. He's on fire, but now that's Ghost Rider, not Blaze.
Well, so that was Boyle's counter. Do you count Ghost Rider? And Billy said, absolutely not.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing. No one's ever drawn Ghost Rider actually emitting any smoke.
Right.
I was today years old when I realised that.
There is
actually blown my mind.
In comics, obviously, there is there's a couple of panels where they show a transformation where like the skin melts off and then all of a sudden there's some smoke and then the skull is just
that's his flesh burning away.
Right.
Yeah. That's part of the effect.
I thought there was one cover with the Hell Charger with when he went to lost the bike and had the car. And
I didn't watch any. I'm sorry, not watch. I didn't read any of the Robbie Ray stuff. I just didn't.
Okay.
I considered it blasphemy.
Oh yeah. Once you get
it got out there.
Once you get past the Jason Aaron run in the kind of naughty,
he's a Ghost Rider, not a Ghost Driver.
Yeah.
Right. It's weird. It's a weird version.
No,
it was kind of like a cosmic leading into
that's when Ghost Rider jumped the shark for me. I haven't been able to touch it since.
Agree.
Yeah.
It's back.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I think it was the Jason Aaron one where he was in hell and there were multiple versions of the devil on Earth and he was gradually tracking them down and killing them off.
That got a little messy. And
but that was still pretty good because as he did, the remaining ones got stronger.
Correct.
I really enjoyed that story.
Right now we're back, and at the moment, Vengeance is trying to reclaim his Ghost Rider spirit, whatever you want to call it.
Okay,
which is cool because I always liked Vengeance.
All right, you can't have it. Go away. Right. There was some news this week that has me. I won't lie, I'm a little bit upset about this. So let's just share screen and dive into it. You're probably wondering, what are you talking about, Ian? I'll tell you what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Upper Deck's official confirmation of what will and won't still be available on Upper Deck EPAC after the 31st of December. Not just after the 31st of December, but after 4:59 PST on the 31st of December. So basically, before they leave to go home or go out and get absolutely shit-faced, literally, that is before clocking off time. They're going to push a button, and the following products will cease to be available for purchase on the Upper Deck EPAC website. So I'm going to read these out. Marvel's Defenders, 2020 Marvel Cyber, because let's face it, it's the only way it's going to sell out. Marvel Studios WandaVision, Marvel Studios The Falcon and Winter Soldier, Marvel Studios Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Marvel Studios Eternals.
That could work out for you, Ian.
It could do, but we'll come back to that. 2021-22 Marvel Annual. So interesting that most of those first ones have been Marvel, TV and movie related. So then we go into some comic art ones. 2021 Marvel Annual, Marvel Beginnings Volume 2, Series 1. Fleer Throwbacks 89. It only seems like yesterday we were getting the exclusive on that.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Marvel Anime Volume 2. Marvel Beginnings Volume 2, Series 1, Pack Wars. Marvel Allegiance, Avengers vs. X-Men. Probably for the best. Funko Pop Marvel Studios, The Infinity Saga. Marvel Platinum Pack Wars, because Platinum sold out, don't forget. The only way you can get access to any Platinum now on Upper Deck is by Pack Wars. Marvel Studios Hawkeye, which I'm particularly aggrieved over. And 2022-2023 Marvel Annual Pack Wars. It's an interesting list of what's not going to be available.
My first thoughts are that Fanatics was like, we want the movie properties first and foremost.
It could well be that there's a Marvel Studios issue
because
involved there.
That might be their first set they want to put out. It might be a Marvel Studios related product.
It's going to be MM1992 they've announced.
So does that fall into the Studios property?
Potentially,
right?
I believe it's Marvel Animated, but it's always a subdivision. Yeah,
you know, and then the next level could also be that there's a specific character in a set that they are going to have in their next set that they need to make sure that they have the rights to. So let's pull that set out of here, right? I'm just trying to think logically why it would be these and not others.
I think there's a potential issue with either some of the artwork rights or the studio licensing here.
Right.
I'm less inclined to believe it's anything to do with what Fanatics do and don't get. I just think it's Upper Deck do or don't have that. Yeah, whatever. Because with Upper Deck's agreement with Marvel, there'll be all sorts of other layers of licensing that impact on what Upper Deck's deal with Marvel can do. So we saw that, for example, with Eternals and with a few other sets, where, for example, Angelina Jolie's deal with Marvel Studios didn't include her likeness rights on trading cards, and that's just, it's nothing to do with Upper Deck. It's just that feeds down that kind of chain, if you like, and it becomes the reality for them. So I think there's possibly some other stuff going on there. The licensing network and the mesh of stuff is ridiculously complicated. I mean, look at all the products that constantly appear and disappear on different streaming platforms.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a ton of language in there that we can.
There's all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's for me, I think there's a couple in here that I'm a bit personally sad over. I think Hawkeye has only just recently dropped. I think it's possibly the most recent Marvel Studios release on EPAC. I don't think it's really had time to for everything to be out there and opened. I think Platinum, they've definitely had their money's worth out of Platinum and the annuals. Animes probably had done them well. Marvel Beginnings Volume 2, will it ever end? So it's probably not the worst thing to happen.
It sounds like a Mel Brooks subtitle.
Exactly, yeah. Shang-Chi, let's face it, you think people aren't buying Eternals. There are even fewer people buying Shang-Chi. Falcon and Winter Soldier. Yeah, Falcon and Winter Soldier and WandaVision did have pretty good outings to begin with.
Yeah.
Because they came out first and people were still thirsting for product. There was still a dearth of product. So I think they probably moved a good amount on there. Defenders has just been on there ages. I'm not going to talk about Marvel Cyber again. So that's the last time I'm ever going to mention that. But Eternals, I'm vexed over because, as you know, I'm personally invested in that set. And there are some cards in there that are just really difficult to hit, even when people are opening products.
I imagine, though, and I know it's a crap time to spend money, that there's going to be some write-downs.
And that's the thing. Will we see, which we talked about last week, the week before, a 75% off? Because they've only done one so far, and that's No Way Home, and it lasted 2 hours. Okay?
So they need to get permission to do that.
Do they?
Yeah, Marvel has to sign off on whatever percentage they decide to go with.
All right. So who knows? So some of these products that we're looking at here, we might see deep last-minute discounts. Because the thing is, otherwise, my understanding is, and I don't know this for a fact, but my understanding is it's pretty ruthless. There's literally a skip out the back, and any physical cards go into it, and they're destroyed.
Do you think they'll destroy them?
Yes.
Why?
They can't sell them in any way.
Right now?
No, after the 31st of December, they cannot sell them.
Ever again?
Well, probably.
What if they get the license back in a few years?
Exactly. I see what the point he's trying to make is
maybe like buybacks or something. Maybe.
I think you're reaching there, Keith. I really think they're going to destroy them because I know it's happened on past products.
Logistically, do you want to pay to warehouse this stuff? Probably not.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot there.
But
I mean, in the grand scheme of the ComC warehouse, it's probably a very small section. But
could we travel to Upper Deck and convince them to give them? Don't destroy them.
Send it all to ComC and list it for a buck. Make something on it. Don't just toss it.
Yeah.
Send it all to ComC.
There might be another way out of this. They might be You remember those mystery boxes that appeared in Walmart a few years ago?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They might have something where they're just random cards just go out to retail dirt cheap, for kids, and you'll just randomly pick up stuff there. That might happen, but I don't know. Shall we, while we're kind of ruminating on that, let's scroll down and look at the stuff you can still purchase, because do you see what I mean? If you look at this list and you think, hang on a minute, they can still sell for Marvel Studios product, because you've got Marvel Allure will still be available to buy. Marvel Studios What If, Marvel Studios Moon Knight. So, there's 3 screen properties straight away. Unbound Year 3, interesting, can still be on sale. So they've said, I believe, that they're going to drop all of Year 3. So expect like a final quarter drop all at once, in the same way we had Unbound Year 4. Unbound Year 4 will continue to be available. I'm not going to talk about the bottom one on that list just yet. Fleer Throwbacks 59 to 63 is allowed a little bit more breathing room. So's Fleer Ultra Wolverine. So's Marvel Flair. So's Fleer Ultra Moon Knight, Midnight Suns, not Moon Knight Suns. What a brilliant play on words. 2022-2023 Marvel Annual. So it's interesting. So I'm wondering if there's a how long it's been on the shelf issue with some of these as well.
I still think it's character related.
Possibly.
Because I think Moon Knight is dead. We won't see him for a very long time, if at all. Right? What If is done after this season. They've announced it's the end of it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Allure is a broad product that doesn't specifically have a character's name in it. If I'm thinking,
it's also phases. Yeah, it's also
trying to play
phases
logic.
1 to 3. Yeah.
Just because it's in there, it isn't named.
Well, here's the thing. Let's look at the bottom on that list, because I was operating under the understanding, and I do feel rather foolish for having said this in an open forum, so forgive me if anyone got misinformation, and that's a lesson learned from me. But my understanding on this was that Marvel Masterpieces 92 Platinum that we've just spoken about would be physical only. Clearly not, judging by this list. So expect possibly the shortest period of time ever between a physical drop and an EPAC drop.
We were terrified that Friday they were going to say it's coming out on EPAC. We were all talking about, because I went down Thursday or Wednesday, whatever, and we were all talking about, I'm like, God, if they release this. And then they did the 24 announcement, and we still were like, oh, F us. But yeah, we were terrified that it was going to be EPAC 92 dropping on Friday.
Yeah. And then Fleer Ultra Midnight Suns has slowed right down on the purchasing. So I think a lot of people are quite pleased. They'll have a bit more time to grind away at that one with some of the combines. Probably similarly with Fleer Ultra Wolverine. I'm looking at you, Wesley, on that one, because you've got some chasing to do.
Yeah.
Marvel Flair. The Fleer Throwbacks, I'm surprised, remained in the mix, given the first one's gone. But again, it is what it is. But no, I'm surprised at that, mainly because Fantastic Four. With the movie coming out next year.
Yeah.
So, anyway. So there we go. So that's the news.
Yeah, I'm very interested in what happens with these stuff they can't sell. Does a jumbo whale come in and say, I'll buy it all off you for this much?
No, I don't know. I mean, I part of me's wondering if we're going to see one of those things like you get ET cartridges in the desert dug up in 30 years' time, and we'll be getting out those metal Eternals cards that I've been hankering after that I might never own.
Time capsule.
But yeah, Ash, I really do think that all the sketch cards in some of their sets will be destroyed. I really do. They're actually quite happy and willy-nilly to destroy sketch cards, and have been for years. So I don't see why
really?
Oh my God!
They destroy sketch cards left, right, and center. If it's not approved, they destroy it.
Yeah.
It's not a replacement. It's nothing. It's just not approved. Goodbye. Not even back to the artist to let them, not even a stamp to send it back to the artist to let them resell it. No, that card's gone. Yeah,
exactly. But yeah, no, Blake, I'm with you on this, Blake. The unreleased will be destroyed. I really genuinely think it is. Justin, 23-24 Marvel Annual is physical only. Yes, I think that's been established previously. There's no EPAC on the checklist for that one, that's for sure.
Will there be like a giant bonfire? Can we attend?
That's
I don't know. Honestly, it'd be like watching your favourite pub burn down. I'm not sure I like that. So, but someone called Paris has just popped into the chat and goes,
"Oh God,
Bella is like he's like, "Where's Waldo? Where is she?" And someone else is Peter's coming and says, "Bella was last week's episode." So, Paris, it's available to rewatch. Just click the subscribe button. Have a look at our previous things. But yeah, mystery boxes. I had a lot of fun with those Walmart mystery boxes the other year.
Doesn't DACA do mystery boxes too? The Hit Parade.
Pass. I think they're actually byproduct to put it in there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the unclaimed achievements.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm really fixing over.
Oh gosh.
Eternals. I've been
right in the wood
digging away. Well, the one I'm after is a metal one, so I think it would probably block the wood chipper. Achievements. I think achievements do have a finite time. I remember I had this. There was an annual one from one of the older sets, and I finally got all the cards needed, and the achievement was no longer active. And I complained to Upper Deck, and I did actually eventually get it, but they did it to me as a favor. But otherwise, you're shit out of luck.
It's a good call out, Pete.
But yeah,
and it's kind of with some of this stuff getting destroyed. I mean, it is sad to think about, and probably a better way than just to destroy it. But everybody who has some now, it's like a burn wallet in crypto. Now, now all of a sudden, anybody who has some of this stuff, it's less of a supply, and theoretically should help with value.
Interesting, Blake rather. Sorry, not Jake. They were pushing back on the artists about the APs because they have to confirm officially with Upper Deck Marvel acceptance of the official AP when drawn. Oh, interesting. So, that Marvel, for the artists that follow the rules, because not all of them do, getting the official approval of the AP, there's a cut-off on that.
Which, by the way, they're not too finicky on. They're not as bad with them as I thought, as I'd heard.
Really?
Yeah.
What, Marvel or
Marvel?
Upper Deck, whatever. Okay, all right. Well, anyway, so yeah, Amanda's got it right. In-hand Marvel Cyber to the moon. Let's pump it, baby. I mean, listen, Marvel Cyber gets a lot of hate. I think, listen, it was designed to be a convention exclusive set, and it came out COVID year, so they had to put it on e-pack. So it literally is a one pack, and you get the whole set.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure I agree with this one. House and Hobby. UD has a responsibility to protect the investments already made in the product by not doing crap like mystery boxes.
I think that goes to the write down thing that I'm talking about, and the approval is that Marvel doesn't want their product to come off as cheap, no matter what's going on.
That's fine. But when they say protect the investments already made, I reject that, because listen, this is just my take, but I don't think of acquiring to invest as collecting. That's just me. If you want to invest, that's fine. There's the stock market over there.
Well, I think he means the investment of company resources that have already been put into it.
Possibly. I don't know. Anyway, I also disagree and reject the assertion that mystery boxes are crap. I think they're quite a lot of fun. They're just not your market, So
yeah, I've had some good mystery boxes too.
And when we were younger, they were a big part of people's first exposure to Marvel cards. Was the Walmart mystery boxes and other stuff like that. The price point that they're at now, kids can't get their hands on it. It doesn't make sense to hand it to your son and say, "Oh, hey, when it's X amount of dollars." When you can get some of this stuff at a reduced cost, you have to continue to grow and expand the fan base.
I mean, one of the things I have liked over the past few years is the effort to get more verticals on the retail front with the blasters. I think that's been a fun thing. I definitely think it's widened the reach of stuff. But
that stuff has to exist.
Well, the irony here is that all they've done is warm up that market to the fact that there's about to be an awful lot of Marvel product in those spaces, because that's where Topps distribution excels. They can pump a lot of product into retail environments and have been doing for decades. They've also got the local comic store market completely sussed. You haven't got this kind of more restrictive diamond distributor kind of way of doing it. So I think it's actually going to be, whilst they might not have an EPAC, and they won't have an EPAC because that's a proprietary thing, it's going to be a lot more distributed. There's going to be a lot more cards out there. Definitely a lot more cards out there.
They might not have an EPAC, but there might be a switch they can flip in Topps Collect.
To print on demand. But that's the thing. Topps have been doing print on demand for years now. They were doing it with a lot of the early Mandalorian sets, for example, the episode sets. You know, they would sell them for a limited amount of time.
She really must have been that much prettier than me.
Paris, I'm just going to give you a hard stare now.
Oh, goodness.
And we're back. My train of thought has left the station. But yes, the Mandalorian chapter says, you know, so if they sold 932 of the product, that's how many they print. Do you see what I mean? So they would only go to press after, and it was really quick as well.
On-demand printing.
Yeah, it was really quick. So you'd sell a product, and then you'd print the number that you sold. On sale, off sale. Right, how many we sell? 932. Run press 1 for 932 copies. Roger, boss. You know, all that sort of stuff. I mean, I'm sure it's probably much more sophisticated like that. But Jake just woke up to say, Retroverse, I just woke up. Topps print on demand is excellent. So there we go. Morning, Jake. It's afternoon. This is what you need to understand. Jake McManus just woke up. It is 3:32 in the afternoon in the UK. That's just, you might be saying morning, Jake, but no. Think of it on UK time. Okay, it is getting dark outside.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
But like Keith was saying, they've done it before. Topps has done it before. They might be able to flip a switch pretty quick.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
Really be ready to go.
It'd be so cool.
I think it's worth saying to Jake that people have slept for our show before, so you wouldn't be the first. But Jake is my granddad nap. Yeah, I believe you. Jake is my hero, says Interglobal. Jake is getting a lot of love in chat. Jake is the night crew, and we love him. But here's a good point from TJ. It would be cool if they donated the leftover cards to schools.
Yes,
Teachers could award them to students, building to another generation of future collectors. And here's the thing. If they do destroy them, this is a real missed opportunity. Now, Upper Deck do this thing where they give away cards in Canada, hockey packs. I think it's an annual thing. Now, I think that's very much they produce them to give them away, much like pre-comic book day.
Yeah,
you know?
I had a set in school that was distributed to us that was a big part of us all becoming fans. It was giving away. A lot of those kids in the classes I was in couldn't afford, parents couldn't afford to go buy them packs. Now, fast forward to 2024, how many poor parents, you know, just doing everything they can, just can't, you know, so every kid that doesn't have a whole lot of gifts under the tree, there's a way to get this stuff that would be destroyed.
Absolutely.
100%.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
100%.
That's a really good point.
Every stocking should be filled with them. They're not, you know, it's not going to take away from the quality and the hard work that was done on these cards. The art's still great, but not a single one should be destroyed.
Hang on. Granddad has entered the chat.
Oh, shit.
Jake is in the house.
He looks like a sleepy guy.
Yeah, he still got the sleepies in there.
What you doing there, Jake? You all right?
I've still got bedhead and everything. And like, do I do that?
So's Keith. So I wouldn't worry about
I will take the bedhead any day, buddy.
We'll take it. Now, this is interesting here. I think we're clearly coming at this from slightly different angles. House and Hobby has come back. As collectors, we want our collections to have rarity. So collectors do not want their collections cheapened. I don't want my collection to have rarity, House and Hobby. I want my collection to be a set of cards that make me happy and give me enjoyment. If it happens to have rarity and value, that's a nice bonus.
But speaking to the, you know, I think I kind of see his angle here. And
I do see his angle.
At the end of the day, more exposure more exposure and these things being in the hands of more people will grow if you're just looking at it from the economics of it. If that's your only motivation, which it shouldn't be, but if that's it, the investment that you're making in some of these sets, it's going to grow overall step by step as
it's going to grow the number of potential customers wanting that product should it come on the market.
Absolutely.
Is that what
exactly?
you're saying?
So, but here's the problem, though: is Upper Deck going to put out a bunch of Marvel stuff and then for free, and then Topps make all that money? Because if I'm searching for more Marvel after that, I have nowhere to look. It's not Upper Deck that's got it for me. So is a child going to look at a brand and say, "Oh, Platinum. Where can I find more Platinum? Oh, it's DC now." Okay, they're not. So they're just going to look for more Marvel. So why do the marketing?
I think Amanda might come in to chat on that one.
As a child, I'm saying.
Yeah.
As a child, you're thinking about exposure to the characters.
Right.
You're
so
not
I'm learning about X-Men as a child now because it was given to me. So I say to myself 5 years later as I'm older, wow, I've always liked these cards. Where do I find more of this? You go to the store and you see it, and it's Topps Fanatics, not Upper Decks. So why would Upper Deck want to put that free marketing out there for something they can't sell?
I don't know. Jake, have you got any idea what we're talking about? If you've only just dropped in, we're talking about what they're going to do with all the product that they can't sell on EPAC after the 31st of December.
That's a good point. And so when they do EPAC, how much do they print? So when you get EPAC,
it's all printed.
Is it all printed? It's not.
Yeah, they all print it at one time. Just some of it goes into physical packs, so the rest of it goes into EPAC. And that's the thing. That's the thing. When I've always had this thing when I've tried to explain EPAC to people.
Right.
It's the same product. They've only just wrapped so much of it and put it in stores. The rest of it, you're still opening a pack, but you're opening it digitally. The cards physically are there.
That's why it transfers to ComC so fast, because it is already in the storage.
It all goes to the ComC warehouse. ComC scan it, and then
Anyway, but it's still, that's why they can do that, and you can send it straight home because it's still already there. So they've got two choices, haven't they? They destroy it. 1, 2, they release it in some sort of form of product on the shelves. In my eyes,
and the latter might be prevented by the license end, which is why they're coming off EPAC. So
maybe, possibly, but if you've already, that's a good one.
We were just talking about Pete TC Wallet suggested that they're given to schools and kids.
Yeah,
they could do that.
It's a good dream, but
I think it'll never happen. It was
no. If it happens, I'm going to get in a time machine and make myself 12 years old and attend that school near the ComC warehouse. That's what I'm going to say.
Well, you're throwing bad money there after good, aren't you? Because it's going to cost you X amount of dollars for something that you're already losing the license to. Right. So they'll either destroy it, which would be a shame, but such is life. Or they do put it in, I don't know, in the product itself, maybe blaster boxes or something like that, which they could do, I'm sure. If they've already got the stock and had the license, you've got to be able to sell the product, haven't you? Surely.
And they'll still have non-sports IPs and stuff that they're going to be doing and maintaining, and Upper Deck's plan moving forward. So to continue to put your product out there and showing that you're making quality cards, I don't just because you don't have the Marvel licensing moving forward, it might still be to be in the consciousness of the young minds. So just in case 5 years from now, which might be 5 seconds, you get the license back, and now all of a sudden you don't have to like build back up to where you once were. You've got that maintained exposure on this product that's not going to hurt you. They're talking about burning it. So what's it going to hurt? How is anything not better than destroying it?
They should call Billy and hook him up to a bunch of IVs and just have him rip it for 7 days straight.
You mean he wasn't already hooked up to IVs? The first thing I thought when I saw him lying on the floor, I honestly thought you guys had just given him another ketamine just to take him down a notch.
No, that was his only stimulation was Celsius. The energy drink.
That'll do it.
Oh, really? Ah, right. Okay, yeah. So that's a real physical reaction then. Paris, I love the cut of your jib there. Can we get this show live from Comic-Con this year? Listen, someone can cover the airfares and the hotels, then holy shit, yes. I will, however, be at the National in in Chicago, July 30th to August the 3rd. So I'm unsure which of my brethren might be able to make that trip as well. However, there will be a live of some form of this podcast from the National.
Where is it?
This
again?
Chicago.
Chicago. Yeah, Paris is from Chicago, so that'll be.
And I would be lying if I didn't think it didn't cross my mind when I was at Comic-Con this year of, if Keith probably showed up, putting together something of, some type of live.
Oh, that'd be.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's super easy. It's super cheap for me to get there. So,
but
I don't know. Do a GoFundMe, Ian. Let's get Ian to America, guys.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, coming to America.
I am coming over for the National. That's happening. I mean, I've already paid for most of the trip. It's a family holiday, so I'm not just there for that. But the National, I will be there, solely for the cards. The fams in Canada for that bit of the trip. So, but any other US related thing, especially subsequent years or other times of the year.
The National could be our drunk podcast.
That's good. Yeah,
that's going to happen. That's going to happen.
Nope.
Justin,
I'll be doing it
Spider
anyways.
What's up, fellas? Say that again. Sorry.
No, I said I'd be drinking anyways.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to the National. I'm very aware of the fact that I'll be drinking from Chicago landing to Chicago takeoff. One
thing I am worried about, like with this EPAC stuff, I've gone all in on this Midnight Sun stuff, and I'm 14 cards away on the blue parallel, but I've really invested, gotten rid of a lot of really cool sketches and some really nice cards to trade for some of these other cards. And if it gets to the end and I can't get it, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Well, it's staying. It's one of the products that's staying.
You'll have more time
for now.
Yeah,
they might not be finite. There could be a term on that too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's scary. It's starting to...
What Izzy's talking about here? So Izzy said, "I love when Ian and Amanda, when we were doing our live yesterday. She showed the outside door to the Keith store in Denver." And I saw that there was outside, and I saw, there's America outside those doors.
That was a good line.
I just got really excited. I mean, it was dark. I was like, "Ooh!"
You were in really good form on that show.
That was good. Well, considering because we start that at 6:30 in the morning my time. Okay. So I'm literally just here with coffee and Anyway, I do also get spicy. I'm a lot less. I'm a lot more opinionated, shall we say?
We like that.
Early morning, Ian.
Yes, early morning, Ian, and not on the Marvel Card Collectors podcast, Ian. So yes, I tend to.
Yes, this is a buttoned-up production over here.
And this is me buttoned up, being as I am on this one. You wait. If anyone makes it to the National, you're gonna see Bad Ian come out to play.
How long's it on for, Ian? 3 days?
5, I think. Yeah, Wednesday through to the Sunday.
That's horrendous. That's worse than
Yeah, I mean, I'll be flying out on the Sunday. It's going to be dangerous, mate. Jake, it's going to be Glastonbury for fat, middle-aged people who collect cardboard.
I reckon, I reckon,
Basically, that's what it is. But Pete, if you're not at the National, I'll be very upset. Listen, the National should be paying me a commission here. I'm drumming them up business, quite frankly. So if they don't give me free entry, I love free entry, don't you? Anyway. And to card shows. Right. Yeah. On that note, we should probably wrap it up. Jake, I know you've only just arrived. Have you got any wisdom you want to drop on this before
drink more booze? Just drink more booze.
Okay.
It's the solution. Forget about your worries with the cards. Drink more booze. Look at the cards you've got. Enjoy. Thank you very much.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, you can't say further than that.
Yeah, I can't hate that.
Yeah, I can't hate that. I think he's kind of already just said enjoy collecting. So I think that might be us for today, lads. What do you reckon?
That was a good sign off.
Enjoy collecting.
That was a good sign off. Right, here we go. Here we go.